Very good part from RBI. Mr. Jain, Vice Chairman, SARC, Madam Revati Ranganathan, Chairperson, and Mr. Nagappan, market expert, and the list that they are reading. And my dear members of the Institute, good evening. I didn't know that I'll be one of the 4 speakers and I have to do only a very short presentation. I prepared a very long presentation which will go on for a day. So since morning I have been preparing, but at the same time I also know that all that I am going to show is all of us know. So I am only trying to give direction and some meaning to lots of information that we keep hearing from different quarters. Therefore, there is also one more speaker for the day. For the evening, I just quickly scroll through my slides. Wherever required, I add value. We can always catch up at the end in Q&A. So the topic Mr. Jain gave me specifically is about macroeconomic scenario, the concerns and reality. It's a very apt topic which, because it has both. There are people who are very much concerned and some people who believe the reality is different and it's too much of concern expressed. So therefore let us just see what's the reality. Thanks to Madam for, I generally used to have a few slides about what I do. Emotional intelligence is basically my area of interest. I have written 3 books. Financial management is the area of interest too. I have written about 10 books. And management generally in Tamil I have written many books. Also about mind and the NLP. This is on economics and demonetization, too in English. So you can look at this in the Wikipedia itself, what India is. Why I start with this slide is that India is so big, 5th or 6th or 7th, whatever it could be, but a very, very big economy, very difficult to bring it to halt or put it into recession mode. It's really a very, very big, vibrant economy, especially with lots of youngsters aspiring to get several things from life. So therefore, this is one snapshot. We are doing very good, though not enough to our satisfaction and to our needs as a country with so much of population, but we are doing really well on different fronts. I thought before we understand the economic situation today, we should know what the government has got to do. This year's budget presented 3 times, one before election, one after election, blah blah and all. Overall, the total expenditure in a year, this government is going to do about 27,86,000 crore rupees in about 12 months, and for which we have income of 20,82,000 only and borrowing of 7 lakh crore. Imagine a country, a government borrowing in 12 months time 7 lakh crore rupees. It can be interpreted in different ways. So much of money will be sucked out of the system by government itself or different expenses which they don't have, they have to borrow, so therefore liquidity is connected and it has some impact on fiscal deficit, blah blah. So these are key numbers about a budget. And as soon as the budget was submitted, several comments were coming out, and this is how generally felt like, who got it, who lost it. But now it all looks completely different. Who lost it, who got it. So there are several indicators. Some of these are not updated. So I have different slide. But just to have for some of the youngsters to know what it means about economic indicators or currency, stock market, GDP, etc. I'll show you another slide. There are 3 types of indicators. One, a leading indicator which will tell in advance at where we are heading. It's like an indicator in the car that I'm going to turn right, left, or I'm going to go straight forward, or I'm applying my brake. So there are some indicators. They say stock market is one such, about which Mr. Nagappan will speak later. Whether the stock market is indicating an economic downturn or And there are some other indicators which are concurrent. So as it happens, we can understand some job data, etc. And the third one is lagging indicators. These are no use. It's more of a post-mortem where we understand this is why it happened. But more accurate will be the lagging indicator because things have happened and we are trying to understand it. Many of us are now sitting with leading indicators and trying to guess where the economy is headed towards. This is published by State Bank of India periodically. They said that out of some 45 indicators, 26 were accelerating. All those are in red are falling short, and yellow are neutral, and green are going forward. They said some 26 are fine. This was in July. But they also started saying that the economic growth for the year will be shorter than, less than what RBI predicted and what many of us thought. So how is GDP calculated? So many a times in forums people ask that what is GDP, how do we calculate GDP, etc. Even for people who are very well versed will have a confusion of what is real GDP and what is nominal GDP. So if the current the GDP is adjusted for inflation, it is real GDP. If it's not adjusted for inflation, it is nominal. So we always see one which is a real GDP, that is 5% now. And they have a base year to compare with, that is 2011-12, which was recently the latest adjustment. So now we come to take stock of where are we on Indian economics, Indian economic condition. 2018-19, the last financial year, we closed with a GDP growth rate of 6.8% for the whole year. And then in quarter one of this current, so though it was 6.8% for the whole year, it's not a very good story as it appears at the end number of 6.8 because we started off that financial year quarter one with 8% growth. In Q2 we were 7% to 1% down. Q3 we were 6.6. Q4 we were 5.8. So the whole year, the average is 6.8, it was coming down step by step continuously. And it did not stop at 2018-19. Now that we have some numbers for 2019-20 Q1, that is April, May, June, we are at 5% is the bad news, which makes this going even further down. So the second financial year, we are going down in the overall GDP. GDP is a sum total of everybody's earning, if I can put it in such simple terms, the value of products and services produced. So what it means, in Q1 we have grown at 5.01%. So many people consider this as a degrowth. Many of us are familiar with analyzing the company's results. So degrowth is different from less growth. Degrowth means if we had grown 100 last year and if we are growing 95 this year, we are degrowing. Even 99.99 is degrowing. Whereas we are growing at 105, which means there is growth. In comparative terms, the growth is lesser than what it used to be. We used to grow at 8%, we are growing at 5%. Two statements, we are growing. We are not growing as fast as we used to grow. So this is how, when you put it in histogram, it looks like, it tells it all, that it went up and it's coming down. So if you want to understand GDP further, to make more meaning, it is said that for the 25 quarters in a row, we have never been so low in last 25 quarters, which means in last 6 years. So this is the lowest. This is one complaint. The other one is that this is the lowest in 6 years, which means the same, and lower continuously. These are facts. We are growing at lesser pace on a continuous basis. The next one is there are several constituents into this GDP. GDP is derived from several numbers or when several things are put together. One is index for industrial production, which is also down. So I am not a great fan of how these numbers are really calculated, because they keep on giving another number a little later, including for inflation, that we announced this, but for the previous month this is only it is. So we don't know what lagged and how it's corrected, but the fact is that IAP is still low. The balance of trade, though not directly connected to the, but it can lead to problems if our balance of trade is very negative and we owe a lot of money to others, and if you don't have forex. But let us keep it aside for the moment. There are two other indicators. Our consumer price index, which is 3.21. The previous was 3.15. Now only it's trying to look up a bit. It has got several things to understand if you put together. When you look at it independently, it's very sweet, because the prices are not going up, the inflation is under control, so you are doing a good job. The other side of it is that if inflation is not going up, the prices are not going up, the producers are suffering, they will not have incentive to produce and they may not invest further and things will not happen. Always we have two sides, exporters, importers, manufacturers, consumers. So when we talk of any number, there are people who get benefited, there are people who get affected. So this inflation is one way we can say that the rural demand is not going up because the prices are not rising. If you have noticed in the last election, there are several issues in the parliament election, but as it used to be, I still remember they used to say Parupu in this year versus this year, oil this year versus this year. We never saw that this time in the election. The price increase was not an issue at all, which means the inflation is under control, prices are not gone up that bad. So therefore, there are a lot of people who depend on producing this are not making money out of it. The interest rates are also very low. They have also not gone up, as we all know that it's very low with banks because of repo rate and reverse repo rate. The domestic savings as against 2011, which people want to compare, it used to be 32.7% of the earnings, means in 2018 it's gone down to 29.3. Exports as percentage of GDP is 24.5. It used to be now 19.6. Gross capital formation is another concern area, less. New investment projects announced in 2011 was 5,882, and in 2018 new projects are not coming up, not much of investment is coming. Projects will get dropped also, but you can see more projects are getting dropped. If you net off both the announced and the dropped, you can see the result is really pathetic in 2018. So there are a few things. Prices are not going up, consumption is not going up, savings are not much, investment is not coming up, IAP is not coming up. It's all reflecting in GDP. So there is a big demand for housing units. Bloomberg's own data, they have different calendar, Jan to December, so their quarter numbers are different. Resale, these are some headlines I took for some other association. So resale of flats is down. In Chennai also, we all know, there are a lot of, some 40-50,000 dwelling units they say are remaining unsold. The latest and the most popular is the automobile section. I have June, July data, August is even worse. So sales are down. So even the Maruti marketing manager has come out to respond to the finance minister by saying it's not what you say. You're not directly saying, but they are trying to confirm that it's a different thing, not just the millennial issue. In the last 12 months, in July, 11 months sales are down. July, so passenger across board, so be it tractor, be it commercial, whatever, it's all down. The net auto sector is really bleeding. The impacts are job losses, our dealers are closing, people are losing job. And then they say consumption is contract. They say there are 4 Bs which are important indicators. These are not economic indicators, but consumption indicators which will show the health of the economy. They say biscuits, briefs, the innerwear, the bikes, and the booze, the liquor. If these sales are going down, the economy is going down, it seems. So all these are going down in India now. So the biscuits, but if you read between the lines, the 5 rupee biscuit sale is down, but not the cookies, not the costlier ones. So to which I'll come little later. I've been only giving this diminishing numbers now. So per capita disposable income in India in the rural area is falling, it seems. Jockey briefs were slowest since 2008. VAP, another innerwear seller, sharp 20% down. The bikes are also selling less. So, but the word recession is frequently being used, but recession has a definite meaning in economics, which says if for 3 consecutive quarters, if the growth is going down, degrowth, then it's a recession. We have not witnessed recession in India. So economics define it as 3 consecutive quarters. So we are not in recession at all. It can at best be, or at worst be, slowdown. But the concern is government investment is not enough. They say 99,000 crores we are going to invest in next 5 years. So we do not know when will it may not be equally 20,000 every year. So they are only saying for next 5 years, next 3 years. What do we do this year is the question. Private investment is to follow. They are also not. They are actually down, not even neutral. So therefore there is lesser demand in rural, that's more concern. Urban is okay, they are not going down yet. So for this particular sector, vehicle, we can console ourselves saying that there is a big shift happening in terms of BS4 to BS6, and therefore new models are not launched, and therefore the buyers are holding on, waiting for new launches to happen. It may happen around Diwali time, January, February. Can happen in 2-3 years. That pain may go. But there are other sectors which are so this is about that particular. So I am tempted to think whether the need hierarchy itself is changing. Some of us know about the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. They say the basic needs. So whether the basic need do people, because I have a data which says, this is also New India, they say private consumption led story, large scale employment being created in gig economy, which I am hearing for the first time, which is not adequately captured in official figures is what they claim. Because today morning I was listening to SPCL chairman in that one of the channels. They were asking that the diesel sales has gone down by 1.1% in July, so what are the reasons? So the reasons he said are very different. Rains in Maharashtra. Diesel cars are not preferred. Electricity is improved and improving in the country, therefore diesel requirement is going down. Turnaround time of lorries have improved after GST introduction. They don't wait in the check post as they used to. They used to say that they used to go for a trip to Bombay and come back in 5 days time, which has been reduced to 2 days time now. There is a better utilization of lorries and therefore better requirement of new lorries and therefore lesser sales, and it's getting confused as in different manner. Therefore the reasons can be different. There is something which is manifesting a symptom. There is an underlying different reason. So we are jumping to conclusions. Maybe we may have to understand a little bit more. That's what I say. Or the need hierarchy, is that changing? So rural India, the consumption is going down. That's a concern. But at the same time, chocolates, deodorants, malted drinks, noodles are discretionary in nature, but grew between 10 to 15% during the same quarter. So if the economy is going down and everything is down, why should deodorants, malted drinks, and noodles should grow 10-15% in a quarter? So there are numbers are all over the place. We don't know. Agriculture production having expanded, that is going down. Also categories such as laundry, toothpaste and skin cream, premium variants outperformed mass products and companies. Maybe there are no people who want to do agriculture more. Fair. There are people who do not want to eat 5 rupee biscuit. How long will they eat only 5 rupee biscuit? Why not they move to higher category? So we don't know, but that may not be the real indicator that because people don't have money even to buy 5 rupee biscuit. Wrong. People don't want to buy 5 rupee biscuit. Fact, why? We may have to understand it better. You see, at the same time when biscuits are not selling, phones are selling. The biscuit packs are not selling at center of many debate in the economy, but sales of 15,000 rupees smartphones are going up. So in India, smartphone market saw highest ever second quarter shipment of 36.9 with a 14, so blah blah. So it's going up. So mobile, there are charts which show smartphone growth versus fast moving consumer goods growth. So people, that's why I say the hierarchy of needs are changing. So people want to spend more on social needs than basic needs. Or maybe they get the basic needs fulfilled in different manner. They say many factories laying down or giving free a few more holidays. The biscuit sales are going down because they used to give free in companies like TVS every day to employees, which they are not buying now. That may not be really sizable. Now that India, we have seen, let us quickly see what's happening in global economy. They say there may be a recession. This talked everywhere, which I don't want to believe, but they say every 8 years there is an itch and it will come down. So even yesterday's ECB chairman's remarks indicate that in Germany they fear there will be a recession. The starting point is China-India, China-US trade war, which there is a good news today that China has withheld its response, reacting. So they have stopped, they have not done. So therefore they expect the same gesture from Trump. In the Eurozone, it's concerned, IIP is dropping to 0.4 in July. Germany is in the verge of recession. ECB cuts deposit rates. Imagine we are getting 6% FD rate. In Eurozone, it is minus 0.5%. So you deposit money in some of the European countries, you have to give them 0.5%. It used to be 0.4%. So to buy bonds so they're going to start this quantitative easing, like they're going to buy bonds, so there's going to be more money. So they're acting on it, and they also say we are not yet contemplating a recession. Trade war, we know, there's an inverted yield curve. So I'm coming to the conclusion. So this going down GDP is not new to us. So we were at 4.3, now we are at 5.01. We were at 4.3 in January, March quarter 2012-13. The entire growth was sub 5% in 12-13 year. India's growth remains subdued. Again, it was 2013-14. When this Modi government came in for the first time, the GDP growth was less than 5%. And from there it went. Now it's coming back. So it's only at 5. I only hope it will not go down further. There are quick actions and they pull it up. They can give good stimulus and push it up, but they have a very stiff fiscal deficit. This government has more particular about the fiscal deficit, the fiscal discipline. They've always maintained what they said before the budget, and they seem to hold on to it. And their tax collections are going down. So Madam had forecast that she will have 18.3% growth in direct tax collection. Though growth in 4 months is only 6.6, that's not the right number to conclude now, because when the tax incidence will happen during the year, we don't know. But it looks like that what they have imagined is a little bigger, especially when the economy is not doing well. It's a derivative of how the economy does. So therefore, even at the cost of giving up little in fiscal deficit and going up to 4%, 4.5 in a year of problem before things become worse, my feel is that they must give more stimulus and get out of this problem. So this is about the last 10 years which I took for one of the Tamil dailies. I made this graph. So you can see GDP never used to be in straight line or going up. It used to be from 2009, you can see how low it was, to where it is now. It's above 5 only. So we have touched below 5 several times, we have come back. So there is an inherent strength in Indian economy, and we are very likely to do much better. So to sum up, concern and realities, GDP is 25 quarter low, several sectors are going down, rural demand is weak, investments are not happening, global recession is imminent. These are all concerns. India will go for a recession. This is what we think. My take is it has happened before also. Don't worry. This 25-year, some sectors are in distress. Not every. You can see some in green color. Only some. There are sectors which are doing well also. Rural demand is sluggish, which is a concern which they must address quickly. Investments are not happening is a great concern we must do. But the NPAs have eaten up a lot of our money, so that's a problem. There may be the global recession may not be, or even if it is, it will be less harder than 2008, and India will not go into recession at all. Is my final call. There are two minds. We have rational and emotional. If I can say, my emotional mind says that India will not do so bad. My rational mind tells the numbers are telling you different. What will you do? Finally, I go with my emotions. India will do well. Best wishes. Thank you.